Although I did get called for my third day at Kimmel. Thursday.
You guys killing me.
We're dead.
We good? Well, tonight is a very exciting night. We're celebrating the legacy of Ronald Reagan.
Huge fan. No, I was actually, it was funny because... Oh, well, I mean, I just finished season 20. 2 months ago. Still filming, yeah. They lied. And then I filmed a couple seasons of Pawn Stars, and then I did Pawn Stars to America for 2 years, where I filmed all around the country, and then I just filmed another season of Pawn Stars. So, they had to shut it down, cool down a little bit. You know, obviously I don't have access to some other people, so my problems are.
What do you think about Dennis as Ronald Reagan?
I think it's absolutely amazing. He has the voice. First off, you know, it's Dennis Quaid. He's kind of an icon. And he's been doing this forever. I mean, he has the perfect voice. He has the perfect. I mean, I don't think anyone could have done a better job.
Can you introduce this to you?
This is Angie. Yeah.
Angie?
Yeah. Everyone wants to go to like a walk. I'm friends with more games.
Oh, yeah. Great. Thank you.
I think it's part of the movie. You want to talk to Yep. That's exclusive right there. It's called an NDA. Thanks so much.
Just try it. Well, I'm clearly bipolar. But it was a stretch, and I love a stretch, and I love a good challenge. And, you know, as an actress, I love playing trying to be scary as it was to play such a well-known iconic. Reagan. He was a daunting but I felt like, you know, here I am. I'm not for the challenge. Let's go for it. And I just wanted to do everything in my power to channel her essence and first scene we had was in the Oval Office. And I remember one time fashion was important.
You wanted me to take a photo. I would.
And I really appreciate it.
I would.
Different movie. When you watch it today, it's incredible.
Are you as well? Oh, so sort of. I'm a producer right now.
Dennis Quaid's one of the best actors in the world. I just love what he does. So apparently what they did is they didn't go on
Best was an homage, and I really wanted to Nancy Reagan. I really wanted to channel her fashion sense because she was so into her fashion and her dresses. She loved the one shoulder. That was one of her trademarks. She loved ruffles. She loved red. And so I really wanted to find that dress. And to me, when I found it, I just couldn't even believe it because it was so Nancy Reagan to me. But you know, it's maybe a little sincerely. Okay. And then the brooch is antique. And anyway, so I was very excited. So thank you.
I love it. No, and I love the attention to detail. And you really put a lot of attention to detail as well into this role. I know you carried Nancy's autobiography with you on set. After reading that autobiography and diving into it, what is one thing that you were like, this has to be included in my portrayal of her, that you made sure even the writers included in this?
Yeah, well, I read about 6 or 7 books, biographies, and Sheila Tate, who was her press secretary, and tons of other ones, even ones that were kind of negative about her. Kitty Kelly wrote one, but her memoir, her autobiography called My Turn, was my Bible during the shooting of this film. And the great thing that I got from it was I got to see, you know, her story from her point of view. And she kept a journal, so I was really able to see how she felt and how she was affected and what she said. Like, she remembers what she said. So I go to our writer, Howie Klausner, who was amazing. He was so collaborative, and our director and our producers. And they were like, if that's what she said, we'll put that in the script. And so I was just so grateful because, of course, I wanted to become her as much as I could. And if I was going to speak like her and act like her, I needed all of that. So that was such a wealth of information and so helpful.
I love that. I love that you're like, I'm going to dive fully in.
You should see my book. Like, I've read it so many times. Like, it's completely dog-eared and highlighted and sticky notes.
Oh my gosh. Please release that later in like a behind the scenes
Yes.
That's amazing. And I also want to ask you, this is coming out during an election year. The DNC is going on right now. I know Dennis was at the RNC earlier. How did taking on this role and being in this film invigorate you politically?
Well, I mean, I don't see this movie as a political movie. I see it as a biopic and a love story, really. When we made this movie 4 years ago, we had no idea that it would come out during an election year. That just was one of those weird situations because we had COVID and we had this Screen Actors Guild strike, so we were just caught up with like all of the minutiae of what it is to release a film. I think the fact that it happens to come out during an election year, I mean, some people think, oh, that'll be great. Like, it'll be great to see what life was like in the 80s and during the Reagan years. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a story about people's lives that were so iconic and so interesting, and there's never been a movie about Reagan. So I guess that inspires me, because I think we need to learn about our past. That's what helps our future.
So say that, right? Learn your history so you don't.
Totally. Let's not erase our history. We need to learn about it. And whatever your opinion is of these people, I think it's an interesting story.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love the story behind the dress.
Thank you so much.
About Dennis Quaid sort of transforming into Reagan and Penelope Ann Miller into Nancy.
Dude, they're amazing.
Here, I love the look. I wanted to ask you, after working on this film, what's one trait that you admire about former President Reagan that you would hope to see in a future presidential candidate?
Reagan's optimism, I think, and I play his mother in the film, and she was such a big part and a profound part of instilling that in him. And I think the fact that he led with that kind of optimism was really refreshing for the time.
And people, I know you were just asked this earlier, but people have been saying, wow, I didn't realize how much Dennis Quaid looked like Ronald Reagan. What was that immediate reaction when you saw him on set?
I mean, he's a dead ringer for Reagan. He really embodied him, and I mean, it was sort of strange and surreal. It's like double take,
You're like, did I just flash back to the past? What's happening here?
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on tonight.
Thank you so much.
Spitting image, but what led you to say, I need Dennis Quaid to be in this role outside of just the similarity?
I chose Dennis to play Reagan because he's just such a great actor. I've worked with him on a couple of other projects, and he's like a chameleon. He's such a good actor. So, and then his life is kind of like Reagan's. He's an actor, and Reagan was an actor. He was married to an actress. Reagan was married to actresses. So there's things that were very similar. But really, it's Dennis's talent. Dennis is one of the most talented actors I've ever worked with, and he just we learned all of Reagan's speeches. We'd shoot the whole speech. We didn't only use this much in the movie, but he's just a consummate actor.
I love that. I'm excited to see kind of what that portrayal looks like from his perspective. And I wanted to ask you as well, because I know there's been controversy in terms of promoting the film. In terms of just what films get promoted in Hollywood, get more marketing, get more leverage, have you found that things are maybe a little bit either more faith-based or that tend to lean a little bit more neutral, often don't get the same kind of promotion?
I don't know. I think you got to make good movies. When good movies come out, people will go to see it, and it's hard to make a good movie. So I love all movies. I love the Marvel world. I love comedies. I like dramas. I like action films, and then a biopic. This is just like JFK. It's like Lincoln. It's like Frost Nixon. It's just something that should be one of those films that you watched, so you know more about who we are.
And given just the history of Reagan, what is one trait that you learned about him that you would love to see in a future presidential candidate?
Wait, I've learned one thing about what?
What's one trait of Reagan's that you'd like to see in a future presidential candidate?
One trait of Reagan that I'd like to see
In a future presidential candidate.
Oh, okay, very specific. What I'd like to see that Reagan had in a future presidential candidate is that he would fight like hell all day with Republicans, Democrats. They'd go at it. But at 6 o'clock, they'd go have a beer. They could be friends again. We need to get the world back to where everybody can fight for what's right and do the right thing, but also be friends so we can really progress together.
Quit.
Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it.
Quit. So what was it about Dennis Quaid that made him perfect actor to play Ronald Reagan?
And I just think Dennis is a consummate actor. He learns all the lines. He learns, like when we do the speeches, he learned the whole speech, even though I'd only shoot I'd shoot the whole speech, but then I'd use a sentence or two. He knew everything about it. He's just a terrific actor.
What do you want the audience to take away?
What I want the audience to take away from Reagan is that after 6 o'clock, we gotta be friends. You can fight all day on the Hill, Democrats, Republicans, everybody, but you gotta have respect for people. You can't just fight all the time. You gotta respect each other.
Were you surprised around the film, especially with Facebook?
And they said they found the problem and they stopped doing it. It happened 3 times, but I think Facebook is fixing it.
They finally put up an
Yeah, I think they did. I think they finally, got things like Nathan Kelly, a couple of clips from that, or Joe Rogan.
Thank you.
That going on. It's beautiful.
Patriot. I got a Patriot award last night at
How
the
special
Randall Opry National
is it for
Lee
you to be
Greenwood.
able to be a part of
And they
this
honored
film?
me for being a Patriot.
Well,
or a Patriot.
Dennis is
I
a
forget
pal,
which, maybe.
so it's really great to be
Patriot.
involved in
And
something
what
that
did
he's
that moment
done.
feel like for you
And
stepping on that
because it's
stage
such
and
an
getting this
historical figure
outlet?
in America, I'm honored to be a part of
So
a
long.
very special scene
many
in
parts.
his life.
Some of the
So
most important
it's a big
parts
deal.
in many films. I can't go into all of them, that's too long.
What does it mean to
But
you
I
to
am
see
so proud
Dennis
to be part of this
transform
one.
into Reagan?
Because
I have not seen him transform quite yet, so
went to school
I'm on the
together.
front end of this. I've seen a tiny bit of it.
My wife's childhood
And,
crush was Dennis Quaid.
you really have to immerse yourself to
I
make
would
the
have
transformation.
suffered lots of
And Shirley and I had rushed it. We had 4 kids when we were 23. So our kids went to school together. I knew him well. And I supported him throughout his governorship, his presidency, and after. And I'm so proud to be a part of this, honoring him. It's truly a great film.
And how close in just portrayal is Dennis to Reagan, given that you all spent so much time together?
And Dennis Quaid, when I went to Oklahoma to do my part of the film, and all the extras, they said, we keep forgetting this is not Reagan. Really, he was embodying Reagan. And he does in the film. And Reagan himself, I'm sure, would be very proud of what Dennis Quaid, how he portrays him at last. Not all films on Reagan have been that complimentary, but this is a good tribute to him, the man, the president, and really the Christian. He'd want to include that.
Sharing that point, my last question for you, if you feel comfortable, what do you think Reagan would think of the current election coverage that's going on?
I would say, let's elect a good man as a leader, because he's going to face Putin, he's going to face Hamas, he's going to face the North Korean dictator, and they're going to need a strong man to voice the demands of the American public and the United States. They're not going to listen. Unfortunately, they are prejudiced. They're not going to take advice or any kind of direction from women. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for them. That they need a strong man like Reagan, or they're not going to pay any attention to whoever our representative is.